Yes, we have new kittens because I am practicing my single cat lady shtick. This one is Moon, and we have her sister, her brother, sorry, Binks as well. So we are officially a kitty cat household. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Michelle. She's so tiny, teeny, teeny, tiny. Okay, so okay, let's. I went to the circus. Good morning, sunshine. I went to the circus the other day with the kids and I got a little bit of a bug. So I am in my house and I'm like, ugh. Yesterday I kind of relaxed and I shared a post talking about how I decided to just take a nap. You saw that, sweet kitty Mia? And how in doing so, my children also took a nap. So we had like a 3 hour family siesta. And that sort of was like, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. And I want to share that with people. You know how I really believe that your life is your like living legacy. So yesterday was day one of the radical self-love meditations for white-bodied people leaving white supremacy culture. And that's big energy work, right? Like we're holding a huge container, not of people necessarily, because we keep it really small. It's like 12 people. It's 10 people, but then you get 2 equity seats at that. So you're allowed up to 12 people. But the energy there, right? The grief, the peeling back the layers, recognizing all of that. So that in and of itself kind of put me on my arse, you know what I mean? So I'm super mindful on big energy days to take it slow, nourish my body, drink water, do this, that, and the third. When you add on, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time, kittens. When you add on the fact that I was starting to feel a little bit under the weather due to the circus, it was even more reason to just give in. And luckily, my children are on break this week. So I was like, oh, this is nice. Aaron came out the room. They're doing an assessment because they're going to be attending a non-traditional micro school that I am the person that I will be learning from and partnering with as I build out Aaron's place. So a lot of things were just happening, and we were just chilling on the couch. And I was like, "It's time to take a nap." Little by little, Shady fell asleep. Aaron fell asleep. I heard Karen snoring from the room, and I was like, "This is absolutely divine." And it reminded me of times when this was intentional, right? Like I have friends that live in Italy and things shut down. It's over with. It's siesta time. Like nothing's happening. Folks are going home. They're having lunch. So when I'm talking about these parallel systems, when I'm talking about other things and other ways of living, it's not utopia. It's that America is so dystopian that people act like it doesn't exist or it's not possible. But it's happening right now. Around the world, in other places, these things happen. When I was in Turkey, the way they meander about and chill, and they still have bathhouses, right? Communal public bathhouses, just this way of bringing in community and being intentional about rest. And I talk to you guys about rest all the time. Like rest is part of the revolution, joy is part of liberation, all of these things. Good morning, sunshine. Shady just woke up. You guys are both sunshine. Oh, see that tiny shady baby. Tiffany says stores legit shut down in the small villages in Italy for the afternoon. Correct. Same. Yeah, I am a small Italian store because that it's so possible. It's so possible, guys, right? So I just want to continually keep coming back, keep showing up. Let's leave it closed. Reminding you that not only is this possible, what we are trying to achieve and co-create together, but it is already happening. This is again, it's that America is so dystopian. We do not know and so isolated, right? That is one thing, is that America was great about, border control, just to keep in mind, goes both ways. I'm just saying, in order to keep people out, you got to keep yourself locked in. Okay. So travel and experience and exposure becomes something that of the elite. right? Because that's what border control does. Let me see. Kavita says you will find that lunchtime nap in counties that have really hot weather. It's normal in India too. In fact, stores close for a couple of hours and then open up till late. And this is what I do. As these seasons transition, that's what I do, right? I'm like, I go hard. I wake up early in the morning. That's not going to change for me. So I wake up in the morning. There's breakfast on, there's dinner on. Usually all of those things happen simultaneously because that's when I have my biggest ADHD boost. And I come, I do these lives, I do my writing. By 1 o'clock, I'm done. Done, son. That's it. It's night. Wake up around 3, 4 o'clock, and I will begin what I like to call second shift. That's usually how my falls go. And I enjoy that. I wish you had that luxury too, Ashley. And that is the world that we're trying to get to, right? When we're talking about living smaller, coming down to that's the point, is that these people that live in these places, they live more communally, right? They live more communally. They live generationally. There's multiple incomes happening. Now, I'm still drowning, surviving capitalism because I am the only income, but that's life. That's just where I am. I'm lucky in the fact that thank God my house is paid off. So I only have to really stress about the regular monthly bills. But having the stability of a roof over my head changes things dramatically in how you are able to show up in the world, how you're able to speak out in the world. Okay, thank you. So there's a lot of things that go on there. So I want us to think about all of that. So this is what I am talking about today. And we are talking about the medicine of slowness and rest as a revolution. 3 talking points. 1, supremacy culture taught us to outpace ourselves. Okay, think about that, to outpace your own self. 2, trees have been unwilling witnesses and teachers. This is born from a comment on Monday's Live. I really enjoy co creating with you guys. So was the article that was released this morning. 3, rest is communal, not individual, right? That self care idea is deeply rooted in capitalism. I talked about that during the 100 Days of Community. I talk about this over and over again. It must be nice, right? Like Ashley said, like, I wish I had that luxury. Yes, I wish you did too. Like, that's like, because it is very normal to feel like, and I'm not saying that that is how it was intended, but it's very written into the code of for people to be like, oh, that must be nice. And that is what America does, right? Like it teaches that lie. Like, oh, it must be nice to spend a day at J. Dew's or, some communal bath. You may go over there. You may not be here with this. This is not where you're going to have a conversation because I'm in the middle of something. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, you can come and sit here quietly with me and cuddle. I welcome that. But when you think about those sorts of things, it's the must be nice mentality. And America tells you you could work hard. You too will have a paid off house. And then you could just meander. It's a fucking lie. I have a paid off house because it was $30,000. And the woman was a blessing to me. I took my taxes one year that we did, and I had made so little money from my cleaning company that I got a tax refund of $5,000. And I told her I have $5,000. I will pay you little by little to do this for me. And she did. She had an open heart. She was willing. She understood what I was trying to build for myself, for my family. And we, at the time, had a cleaning and lawn company that was really just starting to kick off. And my house now, these same houses are selling for 240. So so you know the truth. So it's fully transparent, right? I don't have a paid off $240,000 house. I have a paid off $30,000 house. The car costs more than the house today. And that's the truth, Ruth. So, but supremacy culture will give you, it was amazing and incredible, right? But this is why you need community. It is not, I'm not self made. Don't let anybody tell you that. They are fucking lying. They are fucking lying. They're fucking lying. I am very successful. And I'm telling you that It's a fucking lie. You need people to do this work. There's no way to survive solo dolo like that. Anywho, so it is a very normal feeling. So if somebody hears that or hears someone speaking or talking about their luxury, I feel like that about my friends. My friends are doing better than me in capitalism sometimes, right? Like jealousy is natural. Like do not it's just a normal thing, right? And it's something that just needs to be checked, right? Like, oh, must be nice. Yes, it is nice. How could you get there? It's lovely. When I see my friends vacationing and eating all these yummy foods, must be nice. Yes, but I'm a family of 4 on 1 income, so it's not happening. What's gonna be nice for us is some wings. We're gonna have that. And even that is nicer than what others can have. Ugh, hair. So when we think about all of those things, it's just something to check in with. But then the lie of America comes in and goes right back to that first talking point. It teaches you to outpace yourself. It's going to tell you, well, you know what? If you work hard enough, you could do this, that, and the other thing. And no, you can't. I know you can't. Because if you bought this house today, it would be $240,000. And by the time you paid the interest rates that are going on, you'd pay over $500,000 for this house at a 30-year mortgage rate. You got $500,000 somewhere? Can you guarantee for the next 30 years you can make a payment? No. No, you can't. These are the lies. The math is not mathing. So let's get back to these talking points. Always question because it does not add up. The American dream it does not add up. So, one, supremacy culture taught us to outpace ourselves. Supremacy culture thrives on disconnection from the body, from the land, from ourselves and community. Its logic is speed, extraction, and exhaustion. To slow down is to resist the demand to be more than human. You are not a superwoman. I really hated, and most Black women came to the conclusion. Thank you for helping him. Came to the conclusion that we did not want to be called superheroes because it removes our humanity. We are not superhuman. We are humans. We are humans that have had to endure generations of trauma and continuously show up, smile, do your best, do better than the rest, right? Show up twice as hard to get half as much. We have collectively decided that we are not superwomen. And all people have got to release that idea, one very specifically of Black women. But of yourself, you're not superhuman. You know what? I used to get sick all the time, all of the time. Like, I look back on my Facebook memories because it's my living room and I post everything there. And I used to be sick like 4 or 5 times a year, like during this time. I get sick a lot less now, right? And it's a quicker time for me to recoup. You know why? I'm not pushing myself. As soon as I feel a tickle in my throat, me, I'm resting. We got some soup. We're doing all of this. And we're like, oh, we're going to be deeper and more intentional. I did. A deeper and more intentional about taking care of myself. So let's go. The reframe here that I want to offer is rest isn't avoidance, it's refusal. It's the holy no to systems that mistake productivity for worthiness. Did you hear that? Your productivity is not your worthiness, right? That is what capitalism demands of you in order to survive for your basic needs. For food, water, and shelter, they want us to go above and beyond human capacity with absolutely no space. I do have tea. I made some this morning too. Thank you, Lisa, because of your amazingness. But they want you to continue to push, right? To go beyond and outpace yourself. What did I do last time? Well, I could just push through. Well, let me just tell you, the older you get, the less availability there is. So I'm 46 and I can't push the way I did at 26. Like, youth is absolutely wasted on the youth. Like, I can't do that. I don't even have the desire to do that anymore. I have more days behind me than I do ahead, like, of fastness or any of that kind of stuff. I want to be slow. I want to be intentional. I want to meander. I want that for you. So the reflection that I offer here is where in your life are you rushing because supremacy culture told you that stillness is failure? Okay. Ashley said I'm a foot into my 50s. I'm tired. I mean, and it's the insane idea. I promise you that these people will raise their retirement age, which I believe when I first started working, I could Google real quick, was like 63. Ray Jamie, let's work. What was the retirement in 1993? God, I felt old. In the 1900s, in my day, Christ, the average retirement age in the US was approximately 57 years old. Full retirement benefits was still 65. What is the retirement age in 2025? In 2025, the full retirement age for Social Security benefits is 66 and 10 months. For those born in 59, 67 years older. Jesus. And 67 for those born in 60 or later. So us, we would need to work until 67. 67. What is the average? What is the average lifespan in America? This is what I mean about the math. Don't math. 78. 78. 78. And that changes for Black people, that changes for disabled people, that changes for poor people, that changes for a lot of different demographics. But let's just go on basic averages and how you could expose the American lie. 67. 11 years later, you finna die. 11 years ain't nothing. And how well is your life after you've beaten it, its war-torn battleground to survive your basic needs? These are the things I want us to think about. I just said, amen, gotta rest because I still don't know how I'm gonna retire. Hey, this is what I'm talking about. Communal living, smaller communal living. I've spoken a few times. I'm now actively, I finally got the nonprofit going, and I'm actively doing fundraising. Me and Lady Speech found an amazing property. It already exists here in Eatonton, Georgia, and we're hoping to be able to get it. But it has 5 acres. I've always said, like, 1 acre is gonna be dedicated to my shanty town. And I mean that shit. I'm like, pull up with your tent, with your RV, come build, bring your trailer park. We're gonna have a fucking blast because people just need communal living. We need to get back to that. And this is a call to action for those of you. I don't demand of you to give up your inheritance. What I do, wealth redistribution looks like to me is sharing that inheritance, right? I have seen people that post online, oh, I have 30 acres. You have 30 acres? You have 30. You know, claiming land in this country used to be as far as the eye could see. That's what that statement means. So somebody would stand here and be like, this land is mine as far as the eye can see. And that is how they state their claim to land. You don't fucking need that much. Nobody needs that much. That's a town. That's a city. Like, I think Manhattan has less acres than 30. You know what I mean? So, like, what does that look like? What does that look like giving back stewardship of some of those acres to the indigenous of that area for their own ceremonial practices, for their own regrowing of native plants, for saying, okay, I have an acre or two, just pull up. Just pull up. Just park your shit there. Like, let's have a good time. Collectively, we could figure out, sewer systems, water systems, waterways. We have lived like this. This is not impossible. We can do this. What does this look like? Tiffany says, I found out recently I have Epstein-Barr, which becomes symptomatic due to stress. So my body is literally forcing me to rest when I get stressed. Well, one, I think a lot of our autoimmune deficiencies, I have fibromyalgia myself. I think a lot of them are quite literally our body's own intuitive defense mechanisms and its answer to supremacy culture and the pushing generationally. And it's just re-scripted our bodies to turn around and say, no. Oh, you won't listen? You won't do this on your own? Love that for you. I will debilitate you because either way, the body is going to protect itself. Mia says, my body reacts viscerally to feeling rushed. I'm a turtle, as my ancestors intended. I love that for you, Mia. Yeah, I have to be mindful of that with some of my own tiny humans, right? Like, it just doesn't work well. So I do a lot of, transitional conversation. Hey, in about 15 minutes, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Just because I do not want them in constant panic mode. Like, get up, let's go. That doesn't feel good. Michelle says, when I lost that measure of worthiness under capitalism, um, especially when I prize myself on being able to hustle for survival. It was a real accounting. If you don't embrace yours and others' intrinsic value, um, you can end up feeling empty. Big time, right? Because eventually you will quote unquote age out of production, right? That's what supremacy culture does, right? Your whatever your currency was, right? Like I still think that I'm an attractive woman, but I'm 46 years old, right? Like I have aged out of, beauty according to what women are, my tubes are tied. I'm useless to the patriarchy and those sort of things. Hi guys, you're kind of loud and I can't overtalk you. Thanks, Shady. Um, aging in an ableist society is a disability, right? So you don't move as fast. I need glasses. I don't see as well. So all of those things start diminishing your worth and your value when you're in a capitalistic society, pushing you forward to consistently be productive. Lisa said, "You're all dried up and used up pretty damn much." Ashley says, "I am still daydreaming of finding an escape hatch, be it community or a visa to another country." I mean, girl, hardcore same. That includes time and presence. Yes. Good morning, John. All right, listen, I let my laptop close. The kids are over there having a blast cleaning up their cat litter boxes. Oh, I'm still on this page. Okay. Let me go back to my notes for today's live. God, I love being here with you guys. So the reflection was, where in your life are you rushing because supremacy culture told you stillness is failure? You could take that all the way to the curb, please. Thank you. Oh, okay. Then I have my current events anchor. I added some things there. So I want us to take a look at things, right? Like, so when we are looking at right now, globally, we are at an unrest globally, no matter where you look. So, global labor strikes, rising mental health crisis, climate exhaustions, all of these things are part of it, right? The earth and our bodies are saying enough. I think that these like fires, all of that, I think that that is a part of Mother Nature speaking to us through like, look, I will burn all of this down. We are over it. We are just done. And I love that we are coming to this point collectively together simultaneously, people across the globe, the earth aligning with us, shout out to the folks. I mean, look at Anchorage. They like how many people lost homes, places, and spaces, right? These are not this is a cleansing. So we get to choose something that's different. And I really hope that in those kind of places, their community and their indigenous practices are so deeply held that even with the material loss, there's still a way back to community and feeling deeply supported. The meaning crisis. Say more about that, Ashley. Talking point two. Trees have been unwilling witnesses and teachers. And again, this came from Monday's live. We were talking and I shared my fairy tree in my house and, what it's like to like commune with nature and being in a white body and what that looks like. Somebody asked, like, I heard that trees feel apathetic towards white people. And I said, well, we have to think about things from the perspective of it's a non-consensual, thank you. It is a non-consensual society and way of living that we exist in, right? So I had put that like trees have been used as crucifixes, lynching trees, slave ships, switches, just all of these things that they have been a part of. Land clearing to build buildings, right? No, deforestation. There's just a lot that's happening with the trees and their own mycelium network, right? And like it mimics our own nervous system. So when we're communing and doing this work, right? Like leaning into the, excuse me. Yes. I don't want to repeat myself. I am on my live. You are being loud and it is unnecessary. Oh God, I'll stop. I appreciate that. ET hoots. So when we think about that, right, like, and that biomimicry within ourselves and like how they have to root down deep and deal with that, think about the shock that's happening to your own system. Think about if somebody came and hacked away at you, parts of you, to do something that you did not ask for. It is that same situation that's happening. So the reframe that I offered there is endurance is not the same as peace. And that is what trees and us have done, right? And even with white bodied people, I remind you guys to look back into your lineage before you were white. That's the question is who were you before you were white? And if you can recall that, if you're looking at the Irish today, you could, and I mean the proper Irish, not the plastic patties here in America. You guys make my ass itch. Um, but if you look at the Irish, the native Irish of today from the homeland and how they are speaking up against genocide, world harm. They're talking about us here in America, Trump, everything. Never have they been silent and they have endured so much and continue to. And that is a testimony to ancient resilience, ancestral resilience, very specifically in this very important month. I keep talking about that because this month, throughout a multitude of practices, spiritualities, traditions, there's something honoring our ancestral roots, right? So thinking about that and leaning into that. So in this reframe, I say endurance is not the same as peace because people will think that. And it's like, no, no. To endure is to keep on keeping on, but it does not necessarily mean there's peace. The work now is to stop romanticizing resilience and start restoring relationship. We have to move beyond that. Love that we've been so resilient, but it has to end, right? There is a collective exhaustion as well throughout Indigenous peoples. And again, we're all Indigenous to somewhere. Ashley says, I picked up the phrase from atheist spiritual director Britt Hartley over on no nonsense spirituality. Basically, a paradigm shift is coming. And I love how you're dealing with the kids. I don't have kids, but I aspire to be a good elder. Yes. Who were my people before colonialism taught them to be colonizers? Back to nihilism, meaning crisis is a reflexive term for nihilism, I think also. Okay, thank you. And thank you. It takes a lot of practice because they give me plenty of practice. They give me plenty of praxis and practice. So thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, I agree. And I will, dang, I was supposed to link that other book. I will go back in my notes and try to link this to, let me screenshot that. No nonsense spirituality. We try to add this back into that replay. And yes, it is very important. But again, we're moving past the resilience. Like, okay, we're tired. All of us are tired. We need to get to repair and restoration, and that is going to take rest, right? So when we're talking about this sort of stuff, and you think about environmental justice and land defense, right? Like the water keepers, all of these amazing people are literally fighting simply for the right for the earth to rest, to breathe, to not be extracted from. And the same is going for people that are activists and looking for the same thing. When we talk about decolonization, when we talk about liberation, it's quite literally a fight to rest in its own simple terms. It is a fight that we just exist. Why is that so difficult to imagine? Why can we not simply exist? Why can we not simply wake up in the morning, do the work that calls to our soul, that benefits community, that absolutely works towards, future generations? Do you think doctors will stop being doctors if we end capitalism as we understand it? Do we think that firemen will say, fuck the fires, let it burn? That's not real. That's not actual. Teachers are going to teach because it surely cannot be capitalism that is keeping them in the teaching race. Okay. There's just not enough money in it for that to be the clincher, right? So like literally liberation work, decolonial work is about fighting for the right to simply exist without hindrance, rest without worry. It's just that simple. Suzanne says, I personally think us white people can't get to where we come from until we work through the micro and macro layers of harm cause. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah. You lose even that ancestral connection to it, right? Because even if you are white bodied, let's say you're a white bodied Irish person, but you haven't been Irish since the famine, like the plaster patties, yeah? Hi, Ginge. Um, Even that reconnection journey can be co-opted, right? Like you could just start taking over and telling the people, the indigenous people, the native people, you did make it. What they need to be doing or how to be doing. There needs to be a reverence. There needs to be a grief. There needs to be an acknowledgement. Wow, we lost this. It's been severed. There's that reclamation is a part of that restoration. Do you know what I mean? So yes, you cannot, because that's bypassing. You can't get to the end of the race without running it. Like if you just drive your car to the end, fam, you did not run that race. That's ill-gotten gains there. You know what I mean? So third point. I am really doing good. I'm doing much better. We're only at 10:04. Jen says, I went through it, still go through it. Yeah. And it's a journey. It's a constant. It is not, like I said, like during those 100 days of community. And I think I might link that to there too. I did a Google Doc. Well, I had to help, where all of them are there. So if you guys want to revisit those and kind of go back to that. Um, but it is a constant journey. And I talked about it as a relay race, right? You're running and you got to rest. You got to pass the baton, friend. You got to pass the baton. Got to pass the baton. It's gonna come back around to you, and then you're gonna run your leg of the race again, and then again, and again, right? But there is that cycle, that rest, that restoration, right? Like, restoring yourself, replenishing, drinking some water, getting some electrolytes, stretching your body, preparing for when it comes back around for your turn. Integrating. What did you learn from that last mile that you just ran? Okay, well, if you need to stay a little more to the inside. When I do this, I bump into somebody else. Okay, maybe I need to breathe differently. All of that has to happen. Right? During that moment of rest and repair, it's not just shutting yourself off, but then it's like, okay, when that baton comes back around, I'm gonna run this race differently. I'm gonna run it with this newfound knowledge. And every time you go around, you're gonna find out something else about yourself, about your teammates, about your community, about the environment that you're running on. All of it is connected and all of it is happening at the same damn time. Michelle said, life got intense. I'm going back to that. And it does. I don't begrudge anybody. People all come to me and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I fell off." And I'm like, "That's my answer. Life happens." 'Cause it does. Just come back. Just come back. That's all. Life happens. It's okay, you know? Come back and don't have hubris about it. Like, well, like come back like, "You know what? I needed a break," or "Things got intense," like Michelle is saying. Lovely. You're back. So happy to see you. Life does happen. Give yourself space for life happening. Third point, rest is communal, not individual, right? So when one person rests, it gives others permission to rest too. That's co-regulation. Nervous systems remembering safety together. That is what happened. Yes, Ginge, welcome back. Um, that's what happened, right? When I said I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to just allow my body to be taken over by the sounds, by the feeling, by whatever. It allowed my children to do the same, even in the midst of their assessment. Laptop open. I woke up. I meant to grab a picture because I woke up and laptop open. Everyone was like this. And I was like, I love that. I love that even in the midst of doing something that they know at 13, this is what my body needs right now. I can get back to this. I can get back to this, right? All of them were just, they put everything down. They know that welcome back is real. But you need to do that rest. You need that restoration. You got to put a pause in it, right? And because I am doing that, I am showing that they know I have stuff to do. I work for myself. I'm always home. I'm always on a device. I'm always talking about work. I talk to them about fiscal responsibility, what we should be spending on, what we shouldn't. Is this a good financial choice? So they are super well aware of the fact that we are surviving capitalism as well. But they will also see me take deep rest, and bust my ass and work hard. Balance. So the reflection, the reframe here is your rest is not selfish. It's stewardship. Every pause you take ripples outward, shifting collective rhythm, right? I, I, I want you guys to try that this week. Take a family nap. And I don't care if your family is a kitty cat. Grab your kitty cat meow, and go to sleep. Like, cats will teach you something too. My cat's lays about all the time, and I'm like, "I'm a cat." Like, I'm a cat. I like to lounge and relax and eat at will. We graze around here, right? Like, I have the crock pot set up, the air fryer, rice pot. We graze. Like, we have cubby systems for food. We eat when our bodies tell us to eat. There's a water dispenser. Like, just you're supposed to ease about, right? You go in the backyard, there's a couple hammocks out there, there's things to just do nothing. And I've preached this word before about, the sweetness of doing nothing. I will try to see if I can remember to tag that in there too. It is absolutely beautiful. You will hear this message from me over and over and over and over and over and over again until you partake in the sweetness of doing nothing, because it is absolutely restorative. It is repair for one's own self, for your community. It is co-regulation. My children still co-sleep because that is co-regulation. We need that. I have been napping even with friends. I had a best friend since I was 16 years old. And like we would literally just come over to each other's house to nap. We would get in bed. We would usually order Chinese food, get some Pepsi. The kids would get us some ice. We'd watch Law and Order and eat and fall asleep. That was a date. And that was like, and we still had banging ass times where we would go out dancing to a club or, like have a home party and play, spades and dominoes and bingo. Like balance. You need that. You need that. So the reflection that I offer here is who mirrors your nervous system? Your children, your community, your colleagues, and what permission are you teaching them through your pace? Right. If you are running a business and you are never, but I had the cleaning company, I still have a cleaning company. I just don't seek out clients any longer, but it will always just exist because you guys may stop listening and I got to clean a toilet, the saying. Uh, so it will always exist. Um, but what was my point there? God, I'm so silly. Oh, so let me read it again. Your pace. In all of that, when I first came to Georgia, because I was working for Sodexo on the base in England doing cleaning, and I first came to Georgia, I was subcontracting cleaning. And I worked, and because as a subcontractor, like the legal difference of employee versus contractor is an employee, you control their schedule. A contractor controls their own schedule. So, she asked me when was I available, and I was like Tuesday through Friday. I don't work Mondays. I don't do weekends, maybe on an off time. I carried that on with me and anyone that was either employed or contracted to my cleaning company. Mondays were off. I set the pace. Why were Mondays off, you may ask? Well, because when the hell else? How do you want your employees, your contractors, to not take days off for regular care? I want to go to a doctor. I got court. I got whatever. I just want to, get my own bills together. You need a working day available, right? I need a day that doctors are off. And why the hell do they need to do that on the weekend? If weekend is supposed to be fun, which is only like two funky ass days, right? Because really one, because Saturday is the only day you're not actually working because Friday you finish the day at work. Saturday is your only, and Sunday you're preparing to go back to work on Monday. So I set the pace with that. That's what that looks like. Setting the pace. No work on Mondays. Just no. Do nothing, do something. It feels like a 4-day weekend every single time. You know what happens? People come back deeply restored. They also have less time away from your company. That's employee retention. I mean, if you want to just bring it down to brass tactics, why? Plenty of people are doing 4-day work weeks, 4 days, 5 days. I've been doing it 25 years. And it's worked out fine for me and anybody that has contracted or worked with me. So you get to set the pace, right? Even when the kids were in school, we would take a day for like mental health. Like, I'll take that ding. You know what I'm saying? If DFAC shows up on my door, I will show them the videos as proof of like, yeah, it's mental health. This is just how I live my days. I know that that is not everybody's way of doing it. But what I'm saying is you get to set the pace for what that looks like, right? And when you think about that, like with the current events, when you think about this is why people are so burnt out. Activators, activists, educators, and healers are burnt down because there is this fear that if we slow down, everything is going to stop. And I've stopped feeding into that fear. Because one thing I've noticed doing this work is there's plenty money. There's like, like market panic, right? Like there's a greed index. If you know the market, there's like a greed index, and it's going to tell you when people are buying or selling and what's going on in the move. And when things happen, people will buy, especially like from work from us. And so then people wind up, activists and educators wind up like, okay, I need to overperform because people are actually buying now. And I've stepped away from that model. And I'm just like, I'm going to just keep showing up. And like the money's just going to have to ebb and flow. And I'm going to have to figure out how to live in the in between. Because if not, burnout really does happen because I'm trying to overperform. Right? It goes right back to that one. I'm trying to outpace my own self to meet this demand. And the truth of the matter is the demand has not changed. The demand always is there. It's that your client or your customer does not recognize that. And that's okay. That's got to be okay, right? Like that's how we can set the pace, communally and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna keep showing up. And when it comes, it comes. When it doesn't, I can't do anything with it. Ashley says, I set my days off as Wednesday and Sunday. Even though I'm not in church those days, it's my acknowledgement that there is something. I love that. So a while back, I was doing Sunday gatherings at my friend's homestead in Arabian Mountain because there's a lot of people that are missing church. Like we can't, I still love my gospel music and I will take myself to church, right here in my own house. Oh, I don't know, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Look inside your toy box. Um, oh, then I don't know. Um, so there is something that we're looking for, right? Like Lady Speech, she does Sacred Sundays also. And I'm definitely a plug here for the Healing Homestead. And I want you to share it. It is a 501(c)(3). So it is nonprofit. You will get a tax deduction. Um, we're take corporate givers and everything. It already has a chapel on there. It already has a chapel on there. It has a chapel on there. So Lady Speech could be doing sacred. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Do you guys want to see it? Do you want to see this? Lovely. That's my baby. You know, she's Morgan's godmother. Let me see. Do you guys want to see what we're trying to buy? Oh my God, I love that. Okay, do you want to see what we are trying to buy? Do you want to see? Somebody type in Ginge, type in seleniteandsage.com in the comments. Can you do that for me? And then you guys can look at it at any time, anytime. But I'm gonna show you. Ta da ta ta ta. It is so freaking amaze balls. Okay, check it out. Thank you, doll. I think you have to put the www dot for it to actually link up. All right. So this is it. But like, look at this. Isn't it freaking gorgeous? But check out. And it already has an outdoor kitchen. We need this. Guys, we need this. You guys could come and hang out. Like, I want them to leave everything, the furniture and all. Like, don't take nothing. Just go. But let me thank you, Mama. Thank you, Kate. Hey, girl. So yes to that. Love it. But I'm trying to get to this chapel. This place is absolutely freaking divine. It is, Ashley. It is. But I want to show you the chapel that she would be in. Look at this. Freaking look at it, bro. Look.
What?
Tell your job that we need money. Okay. There's corporate giving. We will take it. We will partner. Then we can have corporate wellness retreats. Like go forth and get us this shmoney. All right. Check that out. Check that out. Right. Nope. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. I'm trying to look at you guys are ready. Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
It's only an hour and a half away from me. Oh my God, guys, we need this. Please help us get this. We get it. And look, so there's an outside restroom. And like I said, it's all tax free. It is breathtaking. It is on 5 acres, which 1 acre I plan on dedicating to my cool little shanty town. Shout out to the trailer park. Yeah, I'm excited. Then it has, check this out. You guys are gonna freaking die. Are you seeing that? Let me tell you what that is, my tiny friends. It is space for you to come and stay with us and hang out and have an immersive experience. Do you know what this is? Of course you do. It is a freaking RV that is already built out for a child's play place so we could have like camps and hangouts and errands place and all of this little fun stuff. We need this place, guys. We need this freaking place. Look at it. It's like meant for us. It is just meant for us. Yeah. So, but we had to plug that. Like, because yes, yes, because we need a place for gatherings on Sundays. And I'm like, we could be doing weddings. We could be doing like, just like the coolest shit. We could do whatever we want. That's ours. And so, we would buy that together, me and Speech. So think about that. Think about that. Okay. So why are you opening my package without my permission? We consistently talk about consent here. Sorry. Okay. Would you like to reset and do that again? Mommy, can I open the package? Yes. Yes, you can. All right. Yes. And here's what it is. Oh, it's the stuff for the cats. Love that for us. Okay, let's put that on the table. Yummy. And what's awesome, because you know I believe in equity deeply, is like for every single gift, it's not every donation. Oh, Lord, my nose ring. Every donation is not just for you. No more yet. No, please put it on the table. Like I said, put it in the box, put it on the table. Uh Others get too, right? Like so it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna get something for myself. So it's basically, I don't know, it's not like a pre-sale. I hate that idea. But like when you donate, like as an example, I have the Zeffy thing. So like let's say you do like a one time, the 500 gifts, your $500 gift readies the land and provides the retreat supplies for another and yourself. Receive a personalized ancestral blessing from Lady Speech and recognition as a founding supporter. So it's all of those types of things, right? If you do $1,000, it gives for you and a community member in need the Founders Wall recognition. It does give back, right? Like if we can get corporate folks or even people that have big money, like $10,000, preserves the land and it sponsors 5 equity participants, right? For someone being able to come to retreats, etc. Oh, okay. If you go to www.selenite, can I do that? Can I do this? I'm like, oh my God. www. Thank you, Ashley. I will be adding more to that today. That was a simple landing page that we did the other day when speaking with the realtor. It is a cash sale because there aren't because it's such an unconventional property. So there's no financing options and they're not willing to do seller financing. But we're going to keep that in prayer, honey, and ancestral thought. No, thank you for wanting more information. All right. Listen, because I be trying to respect your time, but you guys want to hang out with me as much as I want to hang out with you. And I love that for us. Okay. Listen, let's go back. Right. So 3 talking points. 1, supremacy culture taught us to outpace ourselves. We gotta slow down. Gotta slow down, right? Gotta just like, gotta breathe, take your time, be intentional. 2, trees have been unwilling witnesses and teachers. So they could teach us the endurance, but they also teach us how we have been a part and parcel of a system that we did not ask for. We did not ask for. And now we are looking for restoration. 3, rest is communal, not individual. You see? So you guys could come onto the land because then that's another thing. Like we have like big plans. Like we want like almost like a parks membership, right? Like a community center. Like there would just be a sectioned off part where it's like, you're a member, come on, right? Like hammocks and trees, just be there. Almost like just chill out. Like, just come and chill. Have a place to get away for the weekends, in that sort of way, right? Because rest is communal, not individual. So those are the 3 talking points, right? And so I want you to remember as I head off of here, we cannot build liberated systems with colonized nervous systems. And I am also, I want to say thank you. You guys, again, back to, see, remember at the first part of the story? I do so many things because I'm so deeply held in community. I did a fundraiser for my psychosomatic practitioner training. It was $4,000. And that's not the books and stuff that I have to buy. And I raised damn near $2,700. And I borrowed the rest from my sister. Pay back. Shout out to my sis, little sis at that. Um, but community is what sustains, right? And then the reciprocity. I mean, I do have direct gifts that I'm giving to people. I was like, like everybody's going to get a set of tools when I'm finished. But if you notice, my work has become deeper rooted in somatics. I've always approached it with a somatic approach, but now learning more and going deeper, I offer that back, right? That is really the truth of giving and being held in community. When you give in community, the community receives. So it's not extractive. That is the difference, right? Because a lot of times we wonder what that looks like. And this is what building those parallel systems looks like. Pouring into your community means receiving back. Okay. But not in a transactional, like, oh, I paid you for this, give me this. It is not only will you receive, that transaction is usually 1-to-1, but when it's reciprocity, when it's held in a container, the community receives. So think about it as that. So as you breathe and we release from this space, I want you to put your hand on your chest, deep breath, and say, I am safe enough to slow down. Right? And you do that whenever you need. I don't care if it's in a bathroom break in between 2 shifts. You take a moment. I am safe enough to slow down. Because even those working 2, 3 jobs are allowed and are worthy 30 seconds of feeling safe enough to slow down. 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. And sometimes it's so difficult to find that inside of capitalism that you're just gonna have to take those 30 seconds, friend. And you take those 30 seconds every single time. I don't care if you are working a register and somebody is coming and you're looking at that line and you know that you gotta go in 15 minutes and that shit is down the road. And you just pause before you take your next person. You said, I am safe enough to slow down because you're worthy of that. All right. I will see you on Friday. And I do believe my Friday with friends is, let me check because y'all know don't hit me. I'm not sure if it's Amy or Susan. Either way, you guys will love it. Let me see the baby. It is with Amy. Yummy, because that means we'll be discussing fascism, and she is an expert in that. So Friday with Friends, we will be back with Amy Bright discussing fascism. I love you guys. I don't know what the hell time that is in Eastern time. It's gonna still be 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Ginge. I'm like, that's when we go live here. Yeah, the Friday with Friends, still same time, 9:30 here. And like these things are seeming to go 45 minutes to an hour. So if you guys can keep that in mind, my goal was 30 minutes. Or maybe that's the slowdown. Maybe that's the slowdown in the winter. I don't know. We're gonna just trust that. And I hope you guys do check out the fundraiser for Healing Homestead. Lisa has offered to make gift baskets too. We're gonna be working on rolling out all of these things, auctions and all of this because we deserve the space, all of us. Say bye, Kier. Yes, nasty. Down my tinkle butt boy. All right. I love you guys. I will see you on Friday. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. And remember to breathe. I am safe enough to slow down. Bye. You felt better relief and rest from the convo. Good. And I wanted to do it. Yes. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that, Jen. All right. Love to you all. Thank you for subscribing soon. Ash, I appreciate you. Bye.